Hi guys, how are you all doing today? Good afternoon. And I hope you subscribe to my channel so that each time I post a video, you'll be notified. You wouldn't want to miss out on my videos. And today we'll be discussing something. This topic is very important. It's a very important topic. We'll be discussing two things. The first one is the important things to be considered before you say yes to that man that you're dating now, before you propose to that lady that you're dating now. There are other things to be looked into, there are other things to be considered, but you see these 5 things I would mention, you must have to consider them because they are very important. Number 1 we'll talk about is love. Make sure that the person that proposed to you, before you accept a man's proposal, make sure he loves you. And search yourself truly if you love the man. Do not marry anyone you do not love. Love is natural. And if you end up with a man or a woman you do not love, you see that no matter what the person does, you find it difficult to love him. You find it difficult to love her. You can just, pretend to be nice to him because you've married him, of course, because you've married her. You're just giving him what he gives you. You're just trying to be nice, not because you love him, not because you love her. Make sure that the person you're to settle down with in marriage loves you. Make sure you are in love with that person. Love is very important because in marriage things come up. And it's only true love that conquers. If you marry someone you don't love, the person won't care for you because love comes with care. Someone who truly loves you will care for you, will care for your feelings. So make sure the person you're about to say yes to, make sure that man that proposed to you loves you. Search your heart. Sit down. Pause. Check if that man loves you. And you as a woman, search your heart. If you love someone, you would know. No one else will tell you, I'm in love with this person. True love. You will feel it. When you remember the person, there is a way your heart reacts. You will feel it. You will know you're in love. Nobody will tell you you're in love. So make sure the person you're about to propose to loves you. And make sure as well that you love the person. It is very important. Make sure you're in love with whoever you want to settle down with. That man you're dating today, that woman you're dating today, you're considering to settle down with, make sure you're in love with her. Truly. Make sure she's in love with you. Truly. It is very important. And the second one we'll be talking about is God-fearing. Ask yourself if the person you're dating, if that man who proposed to you is God-fearing. If that woman you proposed to is God-fearing. If he is God-fearing, there are a lot of bad things he would not do in marriage. If she's God-fearing, there are a lot of bad things she will not do in marriage because she has the fear of God in her. Because he has the fear of God in him. What any other random husband can do, he will find it very difficult because a God-fearing man is a principled man. There are things, a lot of bad things he can't do. He fears God. He knows it's a sin. He can't do it. The fear of God will restrict him from doing those things, those bad things. Make sure the person you're to settle down with is God-fearing. He or she has the fear of God in him. It is very important. Someone, when you're weak to pray, he helps you. Someone, when you, the man, are weak to pray, she helps you. make sure the person you're about to get married to, make sure that man that proposed to you is God-fearing. It will do a lot of good in your marriage if your spouse is God-fearing. If he's God-fearing, he will not just kick you out of the house and bring in another woman. Because he has the fear of God in him. He knows what it means to be married. He knows what marriage is. That oath that was taken on the altar in the church means a lot to him, means a lot to her. So make sure that man, that lady you're dating that has proposed or you're dating, make sure he or she is God-fearing. It is very important. The first one is love. Make sure he loves you. Make sure she loves you. Make sure you yourself, you're in love with the person. And make sure he or she is God-fearing. Very important. Very important. A God-fearing man, a God-fearing woman is a good thing. It's a good thing to be considered before you say yes. It will save you a lot when you go into that marriage. And the third one we'll be talking about is physical attraction. So many people feel, he has money and I don't care if he's ugly. Let me just marry him and it's money that matters. No. You should marry who you are attracted to, physically attracted to. But if you feel that the woman you're dating, yes, you know she's fat, dark and short, but if you know you're going to love her, even in marriage, then you can go ahead. Do not marry someone because of what you feel you will gain. Do not be in a relationship because of what you feel you're gaining in that relationship. Knowing full well that I'm not even attracted to this man. You see, when you go into the marriage, even with all the money he will be giving you, with all the gifts, you still see that you won't be happy. You will be bitter. You can't even feel comfortable, proud to go out with your man, with your husband. You won't feel comfortable, you won't feel proud to go out with your wife because you feel she's fat. But you knew she was fat when you were dating her. But you married her, feeling, can manage. But now in marriage, you can't manage it anymore. You're now seeing the fatness, but you were not seeing it before. You did not consider physical attraction. You must be attracted to someone physically before you go into the marriage. Physical attraction is important. Not when the person is sleeping in the middle of the night. You just wake up looking at him snoring, looking fat, ugly, dark, short. And you start asking yourself, why did I even marry this man? You see, you did not even consider that. And now you're not happy about it. But if you see a woman, if you're dating a woman or a man that is ugly, and in your eyes she's not ugly, in your eyes he's not ugly, and you feel you will love her till death, you will love her even in marriage, you go ahead. But do not marry her, and then when you go into the marriage, you will now realize he's ugly, he's short, he's fat, he has pot belly, he's too slim, she's too fat, she's too slim, she's even ugly. You will now start realizing those things in marriage. Marriage is not something you come into then you go out. So pause, check, and be very sure. Now you're in a relationship. Make sure the person loves you and you love the person in return. Make sure he or she is God-fearing. Make sure you are attracted, physically attracted to the person. Is very important. Physical attraction is important. So consider that before saying yes to him. Consider that before you propose to him. Before you propose to her. Before you propose to the woman, you have to consider that. Do not go into marriage because of what? Because of pity. Don't do that. You get tired of pitying that person in marriage. Remember, Marriage lasts for a long time. You might get tired maybe in the 3rd year, the 10th year, you would get tired. But if you love the person truly, that love will carry you. So the 4th one we'll be talking about is commitment. Make sure the man that proposed to you is that kind of a man, that kind of a husband that will be committed to that marriage, that kind of a wife that will be committed to that marriage. A man who knows what it means to get married. A man who knows the worth of marriage. The meaning of being married. A woman who knows what it means to be a wife. If he will be committed. If things about his home will move him. Someone you call on the phone, your son, your daughter is sick, what do we do? How? And he will be worried. He will be bothered. He would want to, what am I going to do? My son is sick, my daughter is sick. Not somebody that you call him on the phone, you call her on the phone. You have to come back, look at this, look at that. The person will say, take care of it now, and just abandon you. What does he care? What does she care? She's not even committed. Someone who will enter into a marriage and have in the heart, he will even feel, any little now, just leave this marriage. Any little now, just leave this marriage. He's not even committed. He has already entered the marriage with bad things in his heart, with bad things in her heart. This kind of a person won't be committed in marriage. So pause and check if that man that proposed to you will be committed in that marriage, will be there for his family, will be there for her family. It is very, very important. Somebody, when it itches you at the back, it itches him too. He will help you to scratch, and you will help him to scratch his back. You people must work together, because when you're married, you now become one. So what affects you affects him. What affects him should affect you. You must be sure that that man or that woman will be committed in that marriage. So another thing we'll be talking about, we've said 4 things: love, God-fearing, commitment, and physical attraction. I've not even mentioned money. Money is important, but it's not in these 5 things I listed. You know why? If the man that proposed to you has something doing, he's earning money, he can be able to take care of your family, he can be able to take care of you and your kids, he can feed you. He must not be wealthy immediately. Go ahead and marry him. He can take care of your family, and he's a good man, he's a good woman. Go ahead and marry her. Go ahead and marry him. That man must not be wealthy now. Provided he has his into business, he's earning little money that can take care of your family. Go ahead and marry him. He'll be wealthy tomorrow. It might take 10 years, it might take 7 years. Go ahead and marry him. And the last one I'll be talking about is to find out if that man that proposed to you is a selfish human being, a self-centered person. Run away from a self-centered woman, a self-centered man. Alright.